My upload for tonight is with regard to the matters pertaining to sad sign of the times and the issues caused to my innocent child, still a missing person, and the harms caused to my husband and I as well since 2015 by individuals that have been of very grievous damages in society and that have really damaged faith and family. So tonight I'm uploading for the interest of the fellowship and the family of the fellowship and those that represent and respect civil society and sanity and sobriety. There are individuals in my proximity that are really not within the law to be around the proximity of my properties. They have trespassed already. They've done the most heinous of crimes against humanity that aren't plausible and that aren't commendable. So unfortunately, there's taxpayers' money being disrespected, and that taxpayers' money is being wasted on people that are of false reporting and that are misusing the services of the democracy that we live in, it being Ireland. Ireland is a democracy, and there are issues being caused by people that have hurt my family. And my little baby boy, only at the tender age of 2, had to tolerate these ASBO, debased, deplorable, despicable, disrespectful characters that are still yet to be held accountable. And they're in my proximity and they're making problems a little bit more dangerous than they've already been doing. And they've been quite avaricious, they've been quite mercurial, quite ambitious with other people's property, and they have been disrespecting the legislation of 2019 that initiated from me. So I'd hate for the constitution or the democracy of Ireland to be brought down to those standards of the guilty culprits that have offended my beautiful child and I. The legislation of 2019 has been an objective goal of mine for a long time, and it has been achieved. And I'm hoping everyone is benefiting prosperously from that legislation. The individuals that are in denial and refutation are disrespecting that legislation, and they're disrespecting the faith and family within the democracy. So those abusing their seats or their elected representative position, those people disrespecting that, I'm concerned. I'm concerned what kind of a message it sends out to the evolved citizens of Europe and the UK. My work has, as I've mentioned, has also affected the United Kingdom. And all of this is being disputed by individuals that have no credibility and that have no credence whatsoever in any of their actions. So I've tolerated quite dangerous offences, and the fact that I'm tolerating culprits in my proximity that have been of grievous offence to my family and my faith are a liability to society, as they've proven to be since my child was unlawfully separated from me in 2017. So this is for the interests of those of sanity and sobriety and recovery, which I'm also an advocate of. And it's also in the interest of women and children. There are people out there that have no regard and no respect, and that are quite cheeky with the disrespect they've shown to my beautiful child, the only heir of my husband and I, and they've caused awful disruption and disharmony, and the spiritual aspect, the abuse against the faith and religion right of the declaration. That's another matter with so much disharmony being caused. It's quite contradictory what these kind of individuals are playing out in society. It's very contradictory to not be able to balance motives, agendas, objectives, etc. So there are hazards in society that I'm tolerating since I gave birth. They've been quite green-eyed. They've been green-eyed from my farms. It's really embarrassing, and they've harmed an innocent child. So there's a very dangerous issue that I'm still bringing to the attention of the relevant bodies that have been obstructed from me. I'm of crime prevention, and as of 2018, 2019, there's been quite a lot of crime prevention. So those that are disrespecting my work and that are exacerbating offences that they've already caused to my innocent child, and to the damages they've done to my life and my livelihood as a qualified professional educator, property owner, mother, etc., pacifist, humanitarian, the damages, harms and losses that have been incurred by these people that have been altering and editing this entire charade farce, are bringing into question the level of sanity and sobriety that they're practicing in their lives due to the the issue of fallacy, people not able to work with the reality, you know. So this is my update for tonight. I'd say the problem, as I've mentioned in my previous upload, untreated goes into a worse condition. So those wasting taxpayers' money with slander, defamation, obstruction, and oh my goodness, they're accruing awful, you know. That's another issue. Evasion is awful serious as well. So I'm just going to let it at that. I think there's a debt owed to my name and to my child, and there are guilty culprits in my proximity, disturbing the peace and disrespecting the services of the democracy and bringing it all into disrepute and disrespecting people's lives. So those that can't respect royalty, I'm concerned about the standards that they're displaying to young little girls and boys, and those that have disrespected their Hippocratic oath and that have damaged health and disrespected the role of Nefet and the role of this woman. I'm really concerned for the stories you're telling yourself. The narrative isn't accurate or real, and it's not safe to, you know, it's not safe to feed your mind anything that isn't factual, that isn't reality based. So those disrespecting my farms, my faith, and my family, and disrespecting your debt that you owe me, that is always increasing with every offence, with every slanderous offence. I really hope I'm bringing them into touch with the reality. Those people that are deluding themselves aren't making themselves healthier, and recovery that came from my work and the crime prevention that came from my work is being disrespected, and I'd hate for any elected representatives to be disrespecting that. To jeopardise that would be a sin, and those disrespecting sacred, that's another dangerous issue that's arisen from this whole entire situation. So those that are of imposter syndrome, identity theft, etc., from my name, character, reputation, etc., I'm concerned for you. Those that have disrespected my husband, Richard McElligott, born on the 29th of the 12th, 1981, the only lawful father to my son and my only legal husband. Those that have disrespected our family, I really hope you understand how dangerous it is to trespass onto our farms. It's a sad sign of the times.